The Miami Dolphins are staring at a defining moment. March isn't just another month. It's the foundation of the 2025 season. Every decision made now shapes the future, determines the battles ahead, and dictates whether this team takes a step forward or backward. The front office is on the clock, and the first major question revolves around Javon Holland. Mike McDaniel made it clear at the Combine. Holland has earned the right to test free agency. That's coach speak for "we're not tagging him." It's not about talent, it never is. It's about numbers, and the numbers aren't in Holland's favor. The safety market is tricky, and $15 million a year is a hefty price tag for a player who, while solid, hasn't reached the level of indispensable. Miami has done this dance before. Christian Wilkins and Robert Hunt were impact players, and yet, when their price got too high, they walked. Is Holland next in line? If he leaves, it's just the beginning. Miami has 25 pending free agents. That's a quarter of a roster potentially gone. Some names won't sting much, depth pieces, role players, but others? It's tough to see this team without Braxton Berrios, Jeff Wilson Jr., or Emmanuel Ogbah, even if their production doesn't always match their reputation. Early signs suggest the Dolphins will work to bring back River Crocraft, Robert Jones, Deshaun Hand, Cam Brown, Tyrell Dodson, and Elijah Campbell. But this is business. One phone call, one unexpected offer, and plans change. Miami isn't in dire financial straits, but they aren't flush with cash either. The salary cap is set at $279.2 million, and while the team is under that limit, they need more space. Retaining players, signing new ones, at all costs. And the money has to come from somewhere. That means restructuring contracts, and that means big names are about to get uncomfortable. Tua Tagovailoa, Bradley Chubb, Tyreek Hill, Terron Armstead, Jalen Ramsey. These are the guys carrying massive cap hits. Miami has 9 players making over $10 million in 2025. That's not sustainable. Terron Armstead is the wild card. Injuries have been his nemesis, and with Patrick Paul waiting in the wings, Miami has a decision to make. Armstead is reportedly willing to slash his salary to the veteran minimum, a gesture of loyalty, a move that buys him time. But is that enough? McDaniel's words at the Combine hinted at a team preparing to move forward, not cling to the past. And then there's Bradley Chubb, a $28.7 million cap hit, after missing all of 2024 with a knee injury. No guaranteed money left on his deal. He has no leverage. Take a pay cut or risk being cut outright. The Dolphins can designate him as a post-June 1 release, spreading the dead money hit and freeing up space. The question is, does Miami still believe in Chubb enough to keep him around? The free agency frenzy is coming, and Miami's approach will be telling. Last year, the team's biggest free agent splash was Jordan Brooks at 3 years, $26.3 million. That's likely the ceiling again. Miami needs bodies. Only 47 players are under contract for 2025. This is about filling our roster, not chasing a blockbuster signing. The Dolphins need offensive line help, depth at cornerback, reinforcements at tight end, and maybe another receiver. Money is tight, so value is the name of the game. Beyond free agency, the draft looms. The Dolphins have clear needs, but the draft is unpredictable. Maybe they go offensive line early, targeting someone like Will Campbell or Marcus Mbow. Maybe they bolster the secondary with a player like Will Johnson. And what about wide receiver? Tyreek Hill isn't getting any younger, and Miami has to think about the future. Names like Tetairoa McMillan and Trey Harris are worth watching. Every pick is an opportunity to shape the next era of Dolphins football. Speaking of Hill, his situation adds another layer of intrigue. His 2024 season didn't quite hit the explosive highs Miami hoped for, and now there's the wrist injury. The cast on his left hand, the shaved head, the cryptic social media posts, it all raises questions. Is he unhappy? Is he angling for a new deal? The Dolphins can't afford to lose him, but they also can't afford to ignore the possibility of needing a plan B. Then there's the quarterback situation. Tua is locked in, but his backup, Tyler Huntley, is a free agent. Does Miami bring him back, or do they look elsewhere? The draft always has interesting QB prospects, and the Dolphins have been rumored to be keeping an eye on some. The backup role may not seem urgent, but it only takes one play for it to become the most important position on the team. Defensively, Miami has work to do. The unit showed cracks last season, and with veterans like Calais Campbell and Emmanuel Ogbah potentially leaving, reinforcements are needed. The secondary, in particular, is in flux. If Holland leaves, who steps up? Does Miami draft a replacement? Can Elijah Campbell or a free agent signing fill the void? Defense wins championships, but only if you have the pieces in place.